love means never having to say you're sorry.
She was once the woman who had everything: beauty, fame, an Oscar nomination, and the biggest love story in Hollywood. But one choice made at the height of her success changed everything. How did Ali MacGraw go from the world's most beloved actress to walking away from it all? And after losing fame, love, and the life she thought she wanted, what did she ultimately find? This is the remarkable story of Ali MacGraw. Before becoming one of Hollywood's most famous faces in the early 1970s, Ali MacGraw was just a girl growing up in a modest, artistic family in Pound Ridge, New York. Born on April 1, 1939, with the full name Elizabeth Alice MacGraw, her childhood was nothing like the fairy tales often told about movie stars. Her father was a talented painter, but suffered from childhood trauma, while her mother was an art teacher of Hungarian descent. The family lived in modest conditions, but it was this environment, filled with painting and creativity, that nurtured in Ali a special sensitivity to beauty and art. After graduating with a degree in art history from Wellesley College in 1960, she moved to New York with fairly ordinary dreams, never imagining that film would change her life. In her early years in New York, Ali worked behind the scenes in the fashion industry. She was formerly a photography assistant at Harper's Bazaar under the guidance of fashion legend Diana Vreeland, and later became a stylist for Vogue. The work wasn't glamorous, but it helped her understand how images were created, how charisma was built, and most importantly, how to attract the camera's attention. It was during this period that Ali's natural beauty and distinctive aura began to attract the attention of photographers. She appeared in many advertisements and gradually entered the modeling field. However, it wasn't until she was nearly 30, an age when many actresses at that time had long since achieved fame, that Ali decided to try her hand at acting. In 1969, her first major opportunity arose when she was cast in the lead role in the film Goodbye, Columbus. Her portrayal of Brenda Potemkin proved that she possessed not only beauty, but also remarkable acting ability. The film was a success and earned her the Golden Globe Award for Best Newcomer. That success also brought her closer to the powerful Hollywood producer Robert Evans, who later became her second husband. As Ali entered the 1970s, everything seemed to be unfolding in the most perfect way. But no one, not even she, could have imagined that the next film would turn a rising actress into a global phenomenon overnight. And that was the beginning of the love story craze. In 1970, Hollywood witnessed a rare phenomenon when Love Story was released, and quickly became the most talked-about romantic film of the decade. Within weeks of its premiere, Ali MacGraw, a rising star, became a household name across America. Her portrayal of Jennifer Cavalier appeared on the covers of major magazines, on television shows, and in countless conversations among viewers. The film's success wasn't just the poignant love story between the two young people, but also the authenticity Ali brought to the character. She didn't act like a distant Hollywood star, but like an ordinary woman with a natural smile, intelligence, and warmth that made millions believe Jennifer was real. The film's success far exceeded all expectations, earning Ali nominations for Best Actress and a Golden Globe Award. Within just 2 years of entering the film industry, she had become the world's #1 box office star. But at the height of her career, Ali's personal life began to take a completely different turn. Her marriage to powerful producer Robert Evans seemed perfect from the outside. Evans not only loved her, but also actively supported her career in Hollywood. He prepared many major projects specifically for Ali, roles that could have made her one of the greatest actresses of her generation. However, fate intervened in the form of Steve McQueen, the man dubbed the King of Cool in Hollywood. In 1972, while filming The Getaway, Ali met McQueen and was almost instantly captivated. He possessed an intense charm, a mysterious masculinity, and a rebellious spirit that mesmerized the world. Their romance quickly became the focus of media attention. Even before the film's release, Ali and Robert Evans' marriage was almost beyond saving. After divorcing Evans in 1973, Ali married Steve McQueen in a simple ceremony in Wyoming. Many believed she had found the love of her life, but from that very moment, a decision seemingly born of love quietly changed Ali MacGraw's entire future. As Hollywood's most sought-after actress, she began stepping away from the spotlight to become the wife of the world's most famous man. And the price of that choice would soon become apparent in the years to come. When Ali MacGraw married Steve McQueen in the summer of 1973, many believed they were the most powerful couple in Hollywood. On one side was the world's most famous actress after the success of Love Story. On the other was the most sought-after male star on the planet. They were a beautiful couple, famous, and seemed to have it all. But behind those perfect pictures lay a much more complex reality. Steve McQueen loved Ali intensely, but he was also a man who wanted to control everything in her life. When Ali's career was at its peak, McQueen openly expressed that he didn't want his wife to continue acting. And for love, Ali made a decision that she later admitted completely changed her life. She left Hollywood. At that time, Paramount was preparing Ali for roles that could become classics. Projects like The Great Gatsby and Chinatown were being considered for her. Had she taken on those roles, film history might have recorded Ali MacGraw in a completely different light. But she turned them all down to focus on her family. For years, the woman who was once a Hollywood icon spent most of her time caring for her son, cooking, cleaning the house, and living a life she believed would bring lasting happiness. Initially, it was a truly peaceful time. They lived in Malibu, away from the glitz and glamour, enjoying a private life on the California coast. However, as time went on, the differences between them became increasingly apparent. Steve McQueen was a man burdened by past traumas. He was often suspicious, jealous, and prone to unpredictable mood swings. Ali gradually realized that love could not replace personal freedom. The woman who had once stood at the pinnacle of film began to feel she was losing herself. By 1977, after nearly 4 years away from the screen, she decided she wanted to return to acting. But McQueen's reaction was clear. If she returned to Hollywood, the marriage would end. Ali chose her career. She accepted a role in the film Convoy in 1978, and from that point on, her marriage to Steve McQueen came to an end. They divorced that same year. But when Ali returned to Hollywood, she realized a harsh truth. The film industry had changed. The opportunities that had once opened up before her were gone. The big roles had gone to other actresses. Fame remained, but the golden age had passed. Not only did she face a stagnant career, but Ali also began to grapple with deeper issues, such as alcohol and unhealthy relationships. The woman who once possessed the world now had to begin a much harder battle. Finding herself again, after years of sacrificing everything for love. After her divorce from Steve McQueen in 1978, Ali MacGraw returned to Hollywood hoping to reclaim her former glory. But the film industry waits for no one. During her years away from the screen, a new generation of stars emerged, and the major roles she had long been destined for went to others. Films like Convoy, Players, and Just Tell Me What You Want kept her busy, but they couldn't replicate the impact of Love Story. The woman who was once the world's most famous actress now faced a harsh reality. Fame can fade far faster than it appears. But it's worth noting that her career wasn't the biggest challenge Ali had to overcome. In the years that followed, she admitted to struggling with alcoholism and the lingering emotional wounds from multiple failed relationships. In 1986, she decided to enter the Betty Ford Center for Rehabilitation. It was one of the most important decisions of her life. Instead of continuing to chase the image of a star whose golden age had passed, Ali began to learn to live for herself. She no longer sought recognition from Hollywood, but focused on healing the wounds that had haunted her for years. The real turning point came in 1993, when a wildfire destroyed her Malibu home. For many, it was a disaster, but for Ali, it opened a new chapter. She moved to a small house in the New Mexico mountains and decided to stay there. Away from Hollywood, away from the parties and the flashing lights, Ali found something she hadn't truly experienced during her most famous years: peace. She dedicated time to yoga, meditation, animal protection, and community projects. She later said that she loved her current life more than any previous period. Although she no longer appears frequently on screen, Ali MacGraw has never faded from public memory. She returned to the Broadway stage, reunited with Ryan O'Neal in special performances, and continued her philanthropic activities. In 2026, at the age of 87, Ali lived in New Mexico with her beloved dogs, family, and the community she cherished. Looking back on her journey, many often say that Ali MacGraw sacrificed her career for love. That may be partly true, but the real story is much bigger than that. It's the journey of a woman who once stood at the pinnacle of fame, lost many important things, but ultimately found the most precious thing: peace with her own life. And perhaps that is the most beautiful ending a Hollywood star could wish for.